Have you ever lost a friendship over a rapper? And when I say over a rapper, I just mean you and your friend had a conversation and one person might have got in their feelings for whatever reason about this said rapper to the point where they're defending them, and because you don't agree with their viewpoint on whatever had happened with this rapper, they eventually stop becoming your friend and they don't like you because they don't like how you think, which is kind of weird because you don't know this person. You know, the media is the media. However, the media has a grip on so many people to the point where they will lose real life relationships over drama associating some rapper. It's crazy. Everything these days involving hip hop is not about the music anymore. The music is an added plus if you care about it. But for the average person, the music does not matter anymore. People defend their favorite artists like their family. It's really crazy how often it happens. It happens every day. You see it online every day. What made this situation way worse is social media. Social media set it up so people can like literally watch everybody, you know, especially these rappers. So you sitting there at home and you watching Tory Lanez, you watching Meg Thee Stallion, you watching Meek Mill, you watching Nicki Minaj, whoever you watching, and real life become invested in all of the media surrounding their lives. Truly believe every single piece of everything that comes out, defending this person's honor. They feel like they know them. We are now in the world of parasocial relationships. So as a result, people have this emotional bond with people they never met before, but they feel like they know enough about them to support, respect, follow, give money to, appreciate, defend, be loyal to, you know? A lot of these people that might be loyal to a celebrity might not be a loyal person to the people in their real life. It's a very interesting situation that we see in modern life. People be knowing about these people's insecurities, these people's political views, their mannerisms, their addictions, what brands they like to wear, just everything, you know? And because so many people have a lot of surface level relationships in a real life, they feel like this is almost equivalent to that. Because they feel like they met this person because they watched them so much. They feel like they talked to this person. They feel like, oh, if I say X, Y, and Z to this person is going to directly respond in ABC, you know? Like they really feel like that connection is there because we have social media, and also due to the lack of complex, real good type bond relationships in a real life day to day. So as a result of all of that, the fans really start having a very deep connection with their favorite rap artist or hip hop singer. Everyone starts psychologically attaching meaning to every action that this person does. It's their comfort. It's where they get a reflection of how to build their confidence. Even might be their personal identity or their muse on how to be, you know? Whether that be a man or a woman, just following their favorite rapper. As we see, I don't know about y'all, but in these types of circumstances, I love using Meg Thee Stallion as an example because in my real life, I lost real friendships over me siding with Tory Lanez over Meg Thee Stallion due to me believing, and still to this day, believing that he did not shoot her in the foot. A lot of people I thought, you know, liked me for me. Soon as I say that and express my sentiment on that, on how I feel like she's lying, they don't want to mess with me no more. You feel me? And I feel like that's crazy, you know? It shouldn't be, you feel me, that simple. But one, it's cool because to me, if it is that simple, they're not your real friends. I understand that. But regardless of all of that, just for someone to feel that deep about something that low-key don't have nothing to do with them, you know? But as a result of this information just being pushed and pushed and pushed in so many people's faces, they feel obligated to have an opinion. They're obligated by default to feel a way about the information presented. And a good deal of the time with that particular situation, for an example, the information was presented already framing Tory Lanez as there's no reason to question if he did it or not. They framed it so don't you dare question him. Oh, poor Meg Thee Stallion. You feel me? And a lot of people might still feel the opposite way. Like, no, he did shoot her. Da-da-da-da-da. But I was a fan of Meg Thee Stallion before a lot of women knew about her. I always paid attention to the underground female rap scene. So I knew about her. I was a fan prior to the Tina Snow mixtape coming out. So there's that. As a result, once, was it Savage? It was before Savage, I think. It was some video, it was some song that she had. And I remember distinctly, she was in a gas station parking lot and she was twerking. And I remember this because I remember this was the moment I'm just like, oh, she for them people. And I knew she was going to blow. I knew they was going to make her into a superstar at that moment because that video was getting a lot of traction. It was like one of her first like viral social media moments. And it got a lot of traction. And, you know, now she's a household name, whether you like it or love it, you know? So, yeah. So anyway, I said all that to say, just to give background context, whereas like the other girls that have this opinion, I know they ain't been paying attention to her from day one, like I have. They weren't even genuine friends. They just became fans of her once, you know, she was pushed in their face. Which is cool. Nothing wrong with it. That's how it's supposed to go. You don't know this person. You know? You don't know this person. And I don't know that person either. But I feel like I have more information than them to have a more logical judgment. You feel me? But I understand the media likes making the good guys seem like the bad guys and the bad guys seem like the good guys. I understand that, whereas others, you know, it takes them some time to get that concept wrapped around their head. Everyone know that Nicki Minaj's fans are called barbs. Now, I consider myself to be a fan of hers, but I don't consider myself to be a barb. But there are a lot of people that do. And with that, the barbs are supposed to be loyal to Nicki and go against Cardi B. And it's crazy because, again, if I use Meg Thee Stallion for a good example, since we all know about it, it's a good reference point, I think. There's a lot of blatant contradictions throughout her story and her media life so far. And even with all of that, opposed to just saying, you know what, I don't know her, I'm gonna fall back, I'm not about to be super passionate like I know her. Even with all of that at play, people will still defend her. And this is not unique to Meg Thee Stallion at all. This goes for anybody that has a quote-unquote die-hard fan base. A good deal of their fans will defend their honor because if you say something bad about them and they look up to this person in some regard, it feels to them, it genuinely feels to them subconsciously like you're saying something bad about them directly. And even if not them, then the way they think, their thought process. Even if their album is weak and nobody really like it, or some people don't like it, or maybe they think everybody like it, you know? And maybe that is the genuine perception. If they genuinely don't like it, they ain't not about to say that shit out loud. They're going to defend that motherfucker, okay? They are going to do that because they tie their whole identity into that said artist. I'm just gonna randomly drop people's names, just famous rappers, okay? On a female and male side. Whereas I have encountered real life humans that you can tell for sure model a good deal of their at least external identity and probably some of their mindsets too, their thought processes. Just the same way as their favorite rapper. Okay, so let's see. Just people that crossed my mind initially. Meg Thee Stallion, Isaiah Rashad, Bryson Tiller, Chief Keef, Wiz Khalifa. Side note with Wiz Khalifa, in my generation, when we was in like early high school, when Wiz was like really popping, if y'all remember, he had that little yellow patch of blonde hair. He had like a little curly top afro situation going on, and he had a blonde patch of hair. When I tell you in Philly, not everybody of course, but in Philly alone, a good deal of young men, young American men, were bleaching a spot of their hair blonde due to Wiz Khalifa's influence. And also, a lot of young men and young women, I would include myself in this category, were more eager to smoke weed once Wiz Khalifa came on the scene. I.e. trying to, in a way, model your identity. Because if you are influenced by something to the point where you are manipulating your life or your external appearance in some form or fashion, then that you're allowing that person to shape part of your identity by default. So I'm gonna label it like that. This is something natural in human nature, by the way. It's not like I'm not coming at anyone. Like I said, I'm involved in this as well. I'm sure you can look at me and make your own assumptions of who in the media I've been influenced by for me to become me. You feel me? So it's not anything unique. I just wanted to highlight this information because I don't really see anybody talking about it too much. It is a phenomenon that is present in our everyday life. Another example of people modeling their identity off of a rapper, Tupac. I strongly believe all of the black men in this country that have their nose pierced, whether they directly know it or not, they wouldn't have had that nose piercing if it wasn't for Tupac. Tupac made that acceptable for them in their head. Because for the most part, a nose piercing on a man is looked upon as feminine. You know? Regardless if it's in a nostril, it's a septum, like it's looked upon as more so feminine. It's still regarded in that way still. However, and he made it cool because he showcased in a lot of ways at certain moments throughout his career, a lot of hyper masculinity. So it's like, oh, okay, if he did it and he's this macho guy, allegedly, then I can do it too. And even to this day, a lot of people comment people if they say anything negative or questioning Tupac in any type of way. Now, me personally, I used to be one of these people as well. But I got older, I got more mature, I learned more about the world and how things work, you know? And paid attention to individuals at a higher level compared to how I did when I was younger, and sometimes compared to just other people. And as a result, I'm not going to defend Tupac's honor. If someone says something bad about Tupac, now if it's something that's directly inaccurate, that's something that isn't subjective, but it is objective, for conversation's sake, I might engage. However, I'm not going to defend Tupac's honor like that's my father. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And you shouldn't do it either. He does not know you, and this is the entertainment industry. It's not the music industry, it's the entertainment industry, okay? And when people pick an artist to like follow, and when I say follow, I don't mean just literally on social media, but I mean like just follow. They just pay attention to them consistently throughout their career for the past 20 years, 10 years, 2 years, 5 years, day. Whenever they discover them, they follow them. People that do that, when that person gets exposed for something bad, when that person is involved in some type of scandal, if that person puts out bad music or just does something that's perceived as negative, that person also kind of feels attacked. Like, dang, that was my side, that was my team, like somebody on my squad just took an L. But when you even look at sports, you know, sports people are the perfect example. And I'm saying sports people because I'm not into sports. You know, go Eagles, I'm from Philly, But I'm not sitting there locked in all the time. Like, you feel me? That's not me. But the people that do that, every football, Sunday, Thursday, whatever, they screaming at the TV. They putting money up with it. They losing money. They throwing TVs. It's a lot that be going on. Now, when money's involved, I understand. But you shouldn't even be betting on niggas like that, you know? It's low-key, it's simple. When we have these conversations, like our current modern discourse on rappers and the things that they do, there's always so much emotion behind it. So much passion behind it. whether it's fake for conversation's sake or whether it's real because real emotion is behind it. If you look at my last upload, for example, I did my thoughts on Drake's rollout and his music that he just dropped. That's one of my most engaged videos so far, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to my thoughts with Drake's album and just Drake as a person. The reason why it was able to be one of my top videos as of right now, it's not even that high, but like I said, one of my top videos, is because I was able to draw emotion, because all of us have in one way or another, a parasocial relationship with Drake. He has been existing in our lives for almost 20 years. And as a result, because we have been forced to engage with them, because we like paying attention to mass media, we have feelings towards him because we've seen so much of him. The only way to avoid Drake over the past 20 years is to literally never look at screens, okay? It's a little hard for us modern humans to live like that, unfortunately. And because hip-hop revolves so heavily around competition and battling and loyalty and status and authenticity, dominance and influence and masculinity, like, because we have all of these factors so wrapped up in it, it's way easier for a rapper out of all types of music makers to really hone in on their fans' mindset. That's why everything's so emotionally charged all the time for so many people. Most people these days just aren't arguing objectively, and people be emotional. They be feeling all these deep ways because, like I said before, at the end of the day, they're defending their own personal identity, okay? Their emotional attachment. That's what they're defending. Even their memories, that little piece of nostalgia that this artist provided them because they used to listen to this artist heavily at some time period in their life. And just overall the version of themselves that they associate with this artist. So I just wanted to highlight those things in this video. I thought it was interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and most definitely turn on my notifications because I do post every week. I appreciate y'all watching this video. My name is Sana. If you don't know, now you know.